What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dev Hall. We back and we live, man, for the Dev Hall Show, Season 3. We in the middle of Philadelphia, on Broad Street, Boy and Walnut. We got a special guest today for the first episode of Season 3. We got B, the CEO, the founder of HairCutz for the homeless, man. How you doing today, bro?
Feeling, bro. How you feeling?
I can't complain, man. I'm having a good day. Can't complain. It's like 89, 90 degrees today, man. How you feel?
Good, man. Just out here working.
That's good. I see you got a client. You have a client in the chair, man. How you doing? What's your name, sir?
My name Avery.
How you doing, Avery? Now I know you see B around Broad Street. I'm pretty sure every day or.
This is my first time.
First time ever seen him? First time seeing him.
Yes.
Okay, so he had this going on for quite some time.
Yes.
And how do you feel getting your haircut?
I feel good. Great.
Did you know anyone offered this type of service?
No.
Yeah. So what made you did you just walk around Broad Street and you got word of mouth, or you just was walking and you see them and say, hey?
I was walking and I seen him and I asked him. I said, "Is it free?" He said, "Yes."
Okay. Now, when the last time you got your haircut? If you don't mind me asking.
A couple months ago.
Okay, good. Was it for free?
Yes.
Okay, and a lot of people, when they get their haircuts, right, they feel good about themselves. A lot of people don't trust other barbers and things and that. So did you trust B, or what made you feel comfortable him cutting your hair?
God.
Okay. God, when I walked up to you, man, you look like you was having a good time. I actually thought I was seeing a live performance. You was singing and things and that sort of.
Thank you.
Do you feel any type of way of getting your hair cut in the middle of the city, or it doesn't pay you?
It don't bother me.
At all. Okay, I just want to let you know, man, your hair color is nice too, man.
Thank you.
It's shining and everything, man. You feel as though there's a lot of good people in the community, like, B, that do these type of things?
There need to be more people like me in the community.
Okay. Now, let me see the cut. I gotta do the walk around real fast, man. He hooked you up. He definitely hooked you up. So what part of the city are you from?
North Philly.
North Philly? What area you grew up in, man? Because, a lot of people had the box cuts, the Little Caesars, the Tupacs. Like, what area was this, you grew up in? You got the Run DMCs. In my area, we grew up in, like, hair. I grew up in the Iverson area. A lot of people had hair. So that's what I'm trying to figure out what area you grew up in.
How old are you?
34.
Oh,
33.
Oh, 33. Okay. Oh, so you're around me. So
87.
Late 80s, 87.
Yes.
Oh yes, I'm 91, man. I'm a 91 baby, man. So
88.
So we around the same age, same age. So B, hold on one second. I'm gonna get right back to you.
Thanks.
So B, what made you decide to start cutting hair for the community and also the homeless?
Long story short, I moved up here from Delaware, where it's not a lot of homeless people in Delaware. So when I moved up here, I came across a lot of homeless people. I just wanted to do something dope to give back. And it was actually my wife who gave me the idea to come out and cut somebody's hair. Fast forward, I did one haircut. Social media got involved. It blew up. 4 years later, I'm still here.
Now, I was about to say, I actually watched one of your interviews, and I seen that you say your wife had posted a video, and it got 2.4 million views.
Yeah.
And your phone was blowing up the next day, going crazy. So, like, when you got that news, like, how did you feel? Like, did you believe it at first, or? We gotta wait for the fire truck.
That's how you know it's real. We really in the middle of the street.
Yeah,
Where it go down at. But yeah, she posted a video the day after I did my first 2-3 haircuts. The feeling was overwhelming, but you know what I mean? I wasn't sure which way to go. Like, this was supposed to be a one-time thing.
Right.
But I knew that based off the impact, you know what I mean, and the love that I was shown, that I couldn't stop. So I would just come out on my days off, but that wasn't good enough either. So, like you probably saw in the interview, I quit my job.
Right.
No direction, not a lot of money, didn't know, how I was gonna make ends meet, but.
So what job was you working, if you don't mind me asking?
I was working as a soup supply store.
Okay. Stopping traffic, man. Stopping traffic. Getting tips, man. That's what the city need. But listen, man, you get the recognition, man. Listen, man, I'm about to ask you, man, with all this recognition, right? All the crazy things that's going on in the city, all this violence and stuff like that, like, and you out here cutting hair for free in the middle of the city every day. Like, matter of fact, I don't even know if it's every day. Like, how often are you out here?
Every day, Monday through Friday. I get out here around 11. I leave when the people stop coming.
Right. So, like, with that being said about the violence and everything going on in the city, like, do you feel as though you're an asset to the community? Like,
I mean, I try not to get too involved in labels. The impact that I have. I just come out here and I just try to do what I can for a population that a lot of people don't like to talk about it.
Right.
A lot of times it's like it's irrelevant to some. You know what I mean? But as far as the violence and all that is concerned, it's one of them type of things that until all hands is on deck, I don't think that there'd be no type of change. You know what I mean? But I try not to get involved. I'm from the city of Chester.
okay.
I mean,
Alright.
and you hear anything about Chester, it's nothing but violence. You know what I mean? But I just try to be the light. It's a lot of people out there doing their thing.
Right.
I mean, but I just try to stay in my lane and try to shine whatever light I can to help.
Yeah, by you saying you being from the city of Chester, like, now, I'm assuming you reside in Philadelphia now, or you still live in Chester?
I reside in Philly now, but I'm still Chester to the core. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
now I want to ask you this, like, what made you decide to come in Philadelphia and do it instead of in Chester, or do you do it in Chester as well?
Well, I came to Philly because I moved here,
Okay.
and it's a larger homeless population here.
Okay.
But I still go to Chester and give back as much as I can. I do a tour where I travel to different cities and set up just like this with a team of barbers and hairstylists. And Chester is always one of the first stops on that tour.
Right.
I mean, that's my personal way of giving back to where I came from.
So, I just want y'all to know, everyone, this man has a documentary about to come out. It's called Cuts of Compassion, right?
It's already out.
Oh, it's already out. Wait,
It's already out.
it's going to be shown at the New Jersey the
that's
film
it,
festival
yeah.
next week. Next
Yeah.
week. Now,
Next weekend.
so the documentary, like, what are you getting in? Now, what are you talking about in the documentary?
So the documentary, for the most part, is just again shining light on homelessness, showing it from the perspective of the people.
Okay.
I could come out here and I cut hair and all that stuff, but I don't live their life. I don't walk in their shoes. So the documentary, which was produced by PBS and Nadira Nelson for One CD Entertainment, it's just basically showing the dynamic of homelessness from their lens. I mean, giving people just another insight on how real it is out here. I mean, what can be done to help.
Right. Now, I came by the other day, I introduced myself, I seen you, and I seen that a lot of people are stopping traffic, walking up to you, giving you tips. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure they're donating as well.
Yeah.
Like, how did that make you feel, man? Like, I know you said you quit your job and you've been out here ever since. Like, is that how you're being, like, able to provide and things in that sort, or you have another way of, like, income?
So the tips all get poured back into HairCutz for Homeless.
Okay.
Pays for the tour, or sometimes I provide lunch or clothing or whatever the case may be. I mean, those donations that from the people that's passing by, it gets put right back into it.
Right.
But as far as my personal finances, because of this initiative, doors have opened where I could, do certain things to pay myself or whatever the case may be. I'm a non-profit now, which I wasn't for 3 of the 4 years that I was doing this.
Okay.
So, I get hired to do a lot of different jobs and events, so that has helped.
Of course, we got to hear this loud noise.
Non-stop. The initiative has opened doors.
People stopping. I ain't making this up.
The initiative has definitely opened doors, and I've been able to travel the world and cut some very well-known individuals, you know what I mean, and also help take care of my family. So, but as far as the donations, it gets poured right back into what I got going on out here.
Okay. Now, I was going to ask you this. I did see you have a tour. Have you been down to Atlanta cutting yet?
Absolutely.
And you said Philadelphia is like a big population of homeless people. I know you're familiar with Atlanta being a big population as well. Yeah, you have another big population as well. So what made you and your team decide to do a tour?
So I did an event, and I did it in Chester.
Okay.
And it was called the Cuts of Compassion event.
Okay.
It was my way of bringing barbers and stylists together for the betterment of other people. The event was such a huge success. I was like, hey man, let's jump on the road and let's do it somewhere else. So I think we went to Camden.
Okay.
And this was in 2017. So we went to Camden next. that was phenomenal. And we just started going to different cities. Before you know it, we ended up in Atlanta.
Okay.
And that first year, I think we cut, I want to say over 600 people. 3 barbers, 4 barbers, 3 hairstylists, and it was crazy. We were there for 3 days.
Okay.
It was crazy. So the following year, I stayed connected with the team because I didn't know any of them. I built the team off of barbers and stylists that would reach out on Instagram or Facebook,
right.
And I just pretty much did like a big meeting, and that's how we formed the Compassion Crew. And the following year, they hit me up like, "Yo, let's do it again," and we just been going and going. So we had to take off last year due to COVID, but we back this year bigger than ever, and we trying to go farther than we ever been.
Okay, now have you ever thought about like opening a shop downtown for the homeless, or that's not even a thought? Only because you have a non-profit organization as well, and like this is like where everyone sees you at, you know?
Right. So somebody gifted me a shop about 2 years ago, and it didn't pan out right. As far as their agreement,
okay.
I won't go into details, but you know, and now my mindset is kind of like I don't really want to do a shop because with the shop that I did have, it was hard getting people to leave their comfort zone to come to a barbershop.
Right.
Here, this is where everybody are, so I'm accessible. Okay. I mean, it's easy for them to get to me, no matter what area of the city that they in. So I mean, for the most part, this is my shop. Whenever somebody ride by and they ask, "Do you have a shop?" I tell them I'm standing in it. I mean, this is my shop, and it's for them. Now, what I may do some type of trailer or something like that, or something that I can still bring down here. But for the most part, I'm here, man. This is home.
Now, you know, they say cops harass people, man. What's your relationship with the cops, man? Do they harass you down here or anything, or no? Like, you good in their book?
I mean, I had one running with the cops. It wasn't here. I was on 8th and Market.
Okay.
I built a nice relationship with the mayor. He support everything that I do.
Okay.
And when the cops did run down, you know, I just mentioned that I would give him a call, and I ain't heard from the cops since. And I'm not being boastful, but I mean, it's one of them type of things where you always got to have a higher power that you can trump those who try to come and attack you, especially when you're doing something like this. So, yeah, the cops, you got some that ride by, they wave, they beep, they smile, they get out. Then you got others that, they cops. You know what I mean? Some don't understand the reason why I do this, but it ain't for everybody to understand. So, you know, you got the good and bad, and
I was gonna ask you this. Now, there are some people that can be skeptical when you now, you know, when you get your hair cut, like I have hair, so when I'm getting a shape up, everyone is always looking at like the barber clean their tools and things of that sort. I know you probably get asked that question.
Yeah, all the time.
Like how is your procedure with that?
I mean, I'm endorsed by multiple clipper companies that provide me with all of the proper tools that I need to stay clean, and you know, I mean, make sure sanitation is always on point.
Right.
So yeah, that type of stuff is never an issue with me. And not only that, a lot of people see that I cut the homeless, but believe it or not all homeless people are dirty. You know what I mean? It's places where they can go to take showers, get clean clothes, and wash their hair. Not only that, I wash their hair as well. Yeah, certain, as far as like, you know, being clean and all that stuff, I make sure that everything is always on point, just so that nobody can ever say it's not.
Okay. I mean, now, I'm about to wrap up a little bit. Just ask you a few more questions. Do you have like a certain quota that you try to meet? Like as far as like, hey, I wake up today, I want to do about 5 to 10 different people, or you're not satisfied until you cut 5 to 10 different people?
I mean, I used to when I first started. I used to always try to chase the people. But I realized that ain't it. But if I cut 2 people or 10 people, as long as somebody's life has been impacted, that's all that really matters to me. Sometimes I sit out here for 3 hours, I might cut one person, but that one person will go and spread the word. Yo, I just got my hair cut, I'm feeling great. And they may take, that one person may take what I did, and that might change somebody and they ain't even get a haircut. So I stopped chasing the people and try to just chase the mission. I mean, the reason I'm out here to begin with.
Right. So, I want to ask you this. Last question, man. How long do you anticipate on being out here?
Forever. I ain't going nowhere, bro.
You feel real safe and everything.
I'm good. I ain't going nowhere. I love what I do.
Right.
Quitting my job to come and do something like this without knowing where it was going to lead me probably was the greatest decision of my life. To be
You
honest
said you
with
was a suit though. You
I was working in a suit store on 16th and Chestnut. It's not even there no more.
Okay.
It's called Fabio's Menswear.
Okay.
And when I quit my job, I actually went to work that day. I didn't. So I did my first haircut around Martin Luther King Day. It was January 17th, something like that.
Okay.
That's when I did my first haircut on 15th and Walnut.
Okay.
The guy name was Braden Hope, young guy.
Yeah.
Cut his hair. While I was cutting, of course, you know, there's 1,000 stores, and so people were coming out, they was taking pictures. It was just crazy.
Right.
Got done cutting him. I may have cut 4 people, but it was cold as hell that day. It was freezing. So I cut my 4 people. I went home. In my head, I did my due diligence. I'm good.
What?
Great. Back to work. Boom.
Right.
Next morning, my cousin in Atlanta calls me.
Okay.
And this is around the time when that word viral, people just start using it
Right.
and understanding what it was. He said, cuz, it was about 7 in the morning. Cuz, you just went viral. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He said, go look at the video that Tasha posted. That's my wife.
Yeah.
2.4 million views. At that moment, I'm like, wow. But I still gotta go to work. So,
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
That's not paying no bills right now.
Nothing.
Right.
So I'm working at the suit, John. I had an interview at another spot, and I hope I ain't drawing y'all out, but this is how real it is.
No. We talk.
This is how crazy it is. This is how God works. Boom! I had an interview at another spot. I would have been making the most money I ever made in my life.
Okay. At the other job.
At this other job.
Okay. That's
So
your interview for.
right.
Right.
Went, did the interview. Cool. This is
Pay
before I
attention,
did my first haircut.
Right.
Went, did the interview. I didn't fill out like 2 forms of some type of paperwork. I ended up going back after I did my first haircut. After, you know, everybody was calling, reaching out, and I'm jumping over some stuff. But in the midst of between the interview, my first haircut, and filling out that paperwork, a bunch of different shows was calling. They were calling like crazy. Ellen, Steve Harvey, Rachel Ray. Everybody was calling. Everybody want me. Boom. It was a toss-up between Ellen and Rachel Ray. I decided to go with Rachel Ray because they closer. It's New York. Hopefully they ain't bluffing.
Right.
I go to fill out the paperwork, but I'm telling the lady, I'm like, I don't know what to do. She's like, what's wrong? She was very, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she like, what's wrong? I'm like, well, I went out and I went and cut some homeless people's hair, and it kind of blew up, you know, past what I thought it would ever be, like beyond my wildest imagination. And I got all these shows and stuff calling me. She's like, well, don't waste our time. We're not going to take the job. We can give it to somebody else. I'm like, I want to take the job.
Yeah.
I'm thinking money. I want to take the job, but at the same time, I don't know where this is going to lead me.
Right.
And in my head, God is saying, like, if I expose you to this, rock with me. But I'm still thinking of money.
Right.
I was gonna make like $31 an hour. I'm from the hood. I ain't never made it.
Right.
So I'm like, so in the midst of talking to her, this guy walks in. He sits at the end of the table. Never says nothing to neither one of us. Just sits there.
Right.
White guy, glasses, clean cut. So I'm telling him, we talking. And my phone rings. I don't answer. It's like a New York number, but I thought it was a bill collector. So, you know how we do.
Yeah.
They called twice. I didn't answer both times. Finally, I answered. Hi, this is such and such from the Rachel Ray Show. We want to let you know that everything is a go. We want to send a driver, pick you up. We want to air the show on this date, tape. So in my head, I'm like, yo, it's going down.
Yeah.
The lady looking at me like, one, why are you answering the phone? So I put him on speakerphone. I said, can you repeat that? She ran it down. The lady mouth dropped. Boom. So we hang up, and I'm like, well, there's your answer. I gotta go do this show. If it's somewhere I can start maybe afterwards, whatever.
Yeah.
The guy finally says, so what is it that you do?
Uh-huh.
I ran it down, haircut from home, boom, boom. He said, oh, wow, I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah.
You went viral a couple days ago. I'm like, yeah. So she's like, you heard of it? He's like, yeah. So he's like, well, when are you supposed to start the job? I'm like, I don't know because of this. He said, well, leave your information. What we'll do is the days that you're free, you can come and work. I said, all right, well, cool.
Mhm.
And she looking like,
What?
He said,
Yeah.
so he gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
So I said, well, who was that?
Mhm.
She said, well, he owned the whole company. Whole time, it's a company that built NASCAR. That's what I would have been doing, building NASCAR.
Wow.
So she owned the whole, so whatever he says goes. So
Right.
I leave. I'm like, all right, well, at least I know I got a backup plan. I go to the job. I ain't never have to go back. And I say everything just took off. After the Rachel Ray show, the world just opened up. Like,
Right.
it's like, now I'm not saying I didn't run into no roadblocks. I didn't have no haters or this or that. But when I say a lot of things fell at my feet, on top of the things that I thought was good for me, the shop and connections with certain people.
Yeah.
When those things fell, it was bigger opportunities waiting at the end of that failure.
Right.
So, yeah, I just said all that to say, like, I mean, as far as making this decision, because a lot of people definitely ask, they wonder, well, what's going on with Bull? Like, he really just quit his job?
Yeah.
I really just quit my job. But one thing about faith, like, I mean, if you don't jump, you'll never know if you can fly.
Right.
Now, I ain't telling nobody to go jump off no roof or nothing
No,
like
no.
that. But, I mean, if you don't just step out on faith, you never know what may happen, man. I'm glad I did. Like I said, 4 years strong, we still here, we rocking. We ain't going nowhere, you hear
I
me?
appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate interviewing you,
No
too.
doubt,
man.
bro. I appreciate
You
you
know,
coming
B,
through.
you know, my name Dev Hall. You already know that. You know, episode 1 of season 3. We got a lot more to come. Listen, check him out, man. I already know y'all be driving down Broad Street. Haircut for homeless. Just like everyone that's doing, they beeping, they seeing him, they pulling out cash. Do that. You're doing a lot for the community. The city needs it.
Real quick, HairCutz with a Z. So it is another fake haircut for homeless running around. I won't get in that too, and I mean, cause we ain't worried about that.
Yeah.
But
Good job. I love you guys.
no doubt, bro. But it's HairCutz with a Z. HairCutz, number 4 homeless. I mean, if you don't remember, just look for the logo.
There you go, right there.
We out here, man. I'm always looking for volunteers. I'm always looking for people that want to get down, join the tour.
Do you
whatever
teach
got
people
going on.
how to cut? Or
I
no?
don't, but I will if they determine they want to learn. It ain't about. It can't be about the money. I don't
Right.
do nothing for bread.
Right.
But if it's about the passion and you really got a heart to learn the craft,
Yeah.
I'm down. I mean, whoever want to learn, I'm down.
All right. You heard it, man. Holla at it. Dev Hall Show.